character of God Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. Psalm 103:8 KJV. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Numbers 23:19 KJV. Understanding the character of God is essential for faith, worship, and daily living. This teaching explores God's attributes, his moral and spiritual qualities, and how believers can reflect his character according to the KJV Bible. Examine God's attributes: love, justice, mercy, holiness, sovereignty. Understand how his character shapes creation, covenant, and salvation. Teach practical ways to reflect God's character in life. Part 1. Who Godis 1. God's eternal nature. Psalm 92 to KJV. God existed before all generations. Revelation 1-8 KJV. Alpha and Omega, Almighty 2. God's self-revelation. Exodus 3:14 KJV. I am that I am. Isaiah 6:2-3 KJV. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. Part to God's love and mercy. 1. God's love for humanity. John 3:16 KJV. For God so loved the world. 1 John 4:8 KJV. God is love. 2. God's mercy and grace. Psalm 103:8-12 KJV. Merciful and gracious, pardons iniquity. Ephesians 2:4-5 KJV. God's mercy brings us to life through Christ. 3. Application. Show love and forgiveness to others. Trusting God's mercy in daily life. 3. God's holiness and justice. 1. Holiness. Isaiah 6:2-3 KJV. God's holiness is perfect. 1 Peter 1:15-16 KJV. Be holy as God is holy. 2. Justice. Deuteronomy 32:4 KJV. God is just and upright. Psalm 89:14 KJV. Justice and judgment are the foundation of his throne. 3. Application. Live righteously God's justice in personal and societal matters. Part for God's sovereignty and omnipotence. 1. God's sovereignty. Psalm 115:3 KJV. God does all things according to his will. Daniel 4:35 KJV. None can stay his hand or say unto him, What doest thou? To God's power and omnipotence. Jeremiah 32:17 KJV. God made heaven and earth, nothing too hard for him. Matthew 19:26 KJV. With God, all things are possible. 3. Application. Submit to God's will. Rely on his power in challenges. Part 5. God's faithfulness and truth. 1. Faithfulness. Lamentations 3:22-23 KJV. God's mercies are new every morning. Deuteronomy 7:9 KJV. God keeps covenant and mercy to them that love him. 2. Truth. John 14:6 KJV. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Numbers 23:19 KJV. God does not lie. 3. Application. Trust God's promises. Live truthfully and faithfully. 6. Reflecting God's character in our lives. 1. Love and mercy. Forgive others and serve the needy. Luke 6:36 KJV. 2. Holiness and justice. Pursue righteousness and fairness in relationships and work. 3. Faithfulness and trust. Rely on God in trials and remain steadfast in his word. For worship and obedience God for his attributes and obey his commandments. God is all sufficient and perfect. God's character encompasses love, mercy, holiness, justice, sovereignty, truth, and faithfulness. Believers are called to trust, reflect, and emulate his attributes in daily life. Understanding God's character strengthens faith, worship, and obedience. The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. Psalm 103:8 KJV. For understanding and reflection. A prayer asking God to deepen understanding of his character, inspire reflection of his attributes in daily life, and strengthen faith, obedience, and worship.